What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining Real Rumble. Please hit this video with your best 1-2 punch, like, subscribe. It's your boy G. Thank you guys for joining. All right, guys. So I wanted to go ahead and, with the success of Thunderbolts and how great the movie was and how pivotal it is going to be going forward into the MCU from here on out, I wanted to go ahead and rank all the movies after Endgame. So we've had 14 pictures hit the big screen for the MCU after Endgame, and I wanted to go ahead and rank them from 14 to 1, my opinion. Um, you guys could, of course, comment along the way. I encourage it. Let me know what you guys think. But it's crazy to think about it. We got 14 movies already since Endgame. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. However, it was, man. It was nearly 8 years ago. So we've gotten some good stuff. We've definitely gotten some bad stuff. I would say overall, it's inconsistent. However, let's go ahead and let's start here, man. Like I said, I encourage, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But let's start you off. 14 here. Um, I think this one's a pretty obvious one if you've seen all 14 of the movies, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This movie did not hit the mark in really any way. I thought the acting was good, of course. Paul Rudd, Jonathan Majors, his first appearance, first full motion picture appearance as Kang. I thought he did do a good job. However, the storyline did not hit the mark. The CGI just looked terrible. It was not a good follow up to Ant-Man and Wasp. I didn't expect it to be like Ant-Man 1, which was pretty good. I expected it at least be on the lines of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I actually was excited about it before it came out, but it did not hit the mark. 13, The Marvels. I wasn't a fan of Captain Marvel, the first one. However, for them to follow up, um, bring in Kamala Khan, and of course that other girl, I can't remember her name. But this movie, same thing, did not hit the mark. Just something I didn't really get excited for. Not a bad movie, I would say, but just just definitely towards the bottom tier of the product that we gotten since Endgame. 12. Thor: Love and Thunder. This one you can honestly debate for it being the worst than Ant-Man and Wasp. Thor is pretty bad. I loved what they did with Ragnarok. They did have a lighter side. You did have a little bit of goofiness, and I think it worked for what they were doing with Ragnarok. But they really leaned into the goofy a little too much with Thor: Love and Thunder. I really didn't enjoy really much of the movie. Christian Bale was underutilized. He did do a great job, of course, as his villain, but that's my number 12. Number 11. Number 11 is a recent one here. Captain America: Brave New World. This movie had elements of great things, but for the most part, it just did not hit the mark in most cases. And I feel bad for Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson's character. I mean, this is a good character. Yes, he might not be a leading your emotion picture type character. However, he is a good character who has a lot of heart. Um, and of course, I believe most fans love him. But however, this was a Hulk sequel. I really wish they wouldn't have shown Red Hulk in the trailer and just kind of just let it be, and that you can just enjoy that and experience that surprise in the theaters. I think that would have gave it a lot. I think that would have gave it a little bit more push in regards differ from the reviews that it got. But that's my number 11. Number 10 is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This one's kind of tricky here because it was really hard for Ryan Coogler. He was kind of put in a tough situation here, right? You know, do I pay homage, of course, to the great actor Chadwick Boseman by not recasting T'Challa, or do I recast T'Challa in some form or capacity, and maybe follow the backlash that might come with that? I think they should have recasted T'Challa or possibly done something different, maybe with Killmonger. But they decided to continue the story with Shuri taking on the mantle of Black Panther. And this movie had great elements, had a great villain, Namor. the first mutant that we've gotten in the MCU. Angela Bassett stole the show, I thought, that first half of the movie she was in. But that's my number 10 there. Number 9, Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is interesting because it introduced us to Yelena, introduced us to Red Guardian, who of course play a pivotal role in the MCU going forward as part of the new Avengers. Uh, Black Widow had good moments, but it also didn't have it was middle tier. It's above average. It was average, I would say. So that's my number 9. Number 8 was the one that was definitely did not get good reviews, but I didn't think it was too bad, and that was Eternals. I thought they did pick a good cast. However, the story was very inconsistent. It did have moments I thought that was really cool. It just introduced uh, different things, and it didn't really. And how is it going to play going forward, right? So that's number 8. Now number seven, I thought the first half of this movie was awesome, and then it definitely took a total turn from there. And that's of course Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It really was madness in the multiverse when it comes to this Doctor Strange movie. The first half of it, I thought was really great. I was like, all right, I'm curious to see where this goes, and you can definitely see the difference in direction between, of course, Scott Dickinson's the first one, and then Sam Ramses. Now, Sam Ramsey, of course, I think he always does a pretty decent job with his work, but it definitely did not hit the mark that first Doctor Strange did, which I do think is Marvel's most underrated movie to date. So that's my number 7. Number 6 is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. This, of course, follows the death of Tony Stark, the mentor to this Peter Parker in the MCU, and it follows him on a field trip to, I believe it was Italy. And like I said, he's seeking the loss, he's seeking a mentorship after the loss of his own mentor. Doesn't necessarily have a father, and he ends up falling in the arms of a man named Mysterio. And I did like the twist they had on that. This was a good movie. I think that it's definitely a middle in a trilogy type of deal, but it it was good. Action, acting, story. I think it was a really good movie overall. Um, and then now we're starting to get in those good movie territory, so it definitely falls in that. I had it like a 7.5 out of 10. Um, yeah, they've done a great job with those Spider-Man movies for the MCU. Tom Holland, of course, steals the show every time. Now number 5, this one was kind of tricky. This one was hard here. These these top 5 for me were pretty hard to pick through. But I have number 5, Spider-Man: No Way Home, and I know as big and just how crazy it was to get all of the Spider-Mans on screen for the first time, uh, and paying homage to the past, and then of course and going into the future where we're going to bring brand new day from here on out, kind of bringing Spider-Man back to the comic accurate, a adult photographer, doesn't really have a lot of money, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man type of deal. So that's where they're going forward. But this movie was great. Like I said, paying homage, bringing back Willem Dafoe as the villain. I mean, Willem Dafoe and yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home. It just hit the mark in every way. Uh, One of the top experiences I had in the theaters, especially that moment where Toby came through the portal. That was tip top Marvel there. That was really good stuff. Number 4, this is where I'm going to put it, guys. Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers. This movie was this movie was definitely different than most Marvel movies. It wasn't action heavy, which I still thought the action was great, but it wasn't action heavy. It was very character driven, and that's an element in the MCU I believe that we've missed. And this is something different. I love to see the direction that they're going. Jack Shane, or Jack Shear, I believe is how you say his name. I mean, what he decided the route to go with this story here and with these characters. I mean, it hit the mark, guys. It really did. I mean, it was hit you in the gut emotionally. It got you to the edge of your seat and excitement with the action, and it really intrigued you where I mean, you wanted to follow these characters who are relatively unknown and middle tier to lower characters that are not never going to lead their own motion picture. However, they were able to hit on that, and it made you interested in those characters and make you want to follow those characters going forward to see what happens with them. So, Thunderbolts, top tier guys. Um, Number three, like I said, this is getting tough here, but number three, we're gonna do it. Deadpool Wolverine. Um, another great experience in the theaters. I probably saw about 3 or 4 times. I mean, cackling, laughing every single time. Ryan Reynolds hit the mark with that. Yes, it took 6, 7, something crazy amount of years since the original to finally bring it forward, and they were able to. They hit the mark, man. Him and Wolverine, just a homage to the Fox universe, adding a little bit of Ryan Reynolds flavor. It was top tier Marvel guys. Definitely one of the best films over the last year, uh, but definitely one of the best Marvel films since Endgame. Number two, this might not be on most people's number two. However, I enjoyed this movie very much, and that is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I think it was Marvel's best villain to date, except for it's going to be tough because the Void that was pretty good, but Shang-Chi. Great, great movie. I've always been a fan of the Shaw Brothers, kung fu classic films. I still am a fan of the foreign films and martial art films, the Jet Li's and the Donnie Yens. I love that type of action, and I thought that Marvel did a great job blending that into, of course, its universe in a sense. And Shang-Chi's a character I'm interested to see going forward. I think his powers are really damn cool. And then, like I said, the villain in that movie, his father, um, one of the best villains that Marvel has had since Endgame. So check it out if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Like I said, that's number two on my list. And number one, you're like, man, what's number one? Number one for me, guys, and I could be a little biased here, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is one of the best thing Marvel's has done. Period. James Gunn and his writing and his directing and his, I mean, pretty much Guardians being his. Um, there's not many better trilogies, especially within the Marvel universe. But for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the road that it took, of course, it losing its director over some goofy controversy, um, to it coming to fruition, him coming back, and but this being the end of it, and him wrapping up the story the way they did, and the emotional, I mean, the extreme gut punch that movie gave to us. And if you didn't shed a tear watching that movie, um, you're a lying motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. But Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is number one on my list. So if you see there, guys, I mean, we've had some good ones, we've had some bad ones, and we've had some average. I would say overall, the majority of these movies are average, but I would say probably those top six here, out of those 14, so a third of it, um, I would say hit the mark for the most part. Um, could you, of course, put some of these maybe in the top tier, Marvel collection of films? Maybe. I would say that few of them there are for sure. However, a lot of these are going to be forgotten in a few years. However, I think that after Thunderbolts and what we got from that, Daredevil, Born Again, I know it's a Disney Plus series, but after Thunderbolts, it got Fantastic Four around the corner. I believe Marvel took a look in the mirror, and I think bright future. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to come after Thunderbolts. But hey, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please, hey, put in the comments. Let me see your top 14. Let's go ahead and rank them. Let's compare them. I do want to hear your guys' thoughts. But hey, guys, thank you guys for joining again. This is Real Rumble, baby. Next time. And hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.